Welcome to the Midnight Hour podcast, brought to you by Cemetary Recordz. Your host for the evening will be Evul Ded, aka Grim Voorhees.
Alright, welcome bastards. My name is Evul Ded, and this is the resurrection of an idea we had for several years now. This is my official beginning of bringing the Midnight Hour podcast to your ear holes. As you see currently, we're going to be releasing these through SoundCloud because the setup I got, the program I use for videos is kind of a bitch. So if these are continuous, I'll release them later on YouTube. But for now, you'll get audio freshness from motherfucking SoundCloud. Basically what this show covers is pretty much anything. I don't do politics. Fuck all that bullshit. I don't want to get into that shit. I keep my personal opinions to myself. I want this show to be about nerd shit, culture, music, games, whatever. Just giving my 2 cents. I'm joined tonight with 2 guests. They're my homies.
Name is Edgar. Been around for a minute. A lot of you know me. You know I talk a lot of shit.
Edgar, a little tidbit of trivia. If you've been to some of our shows, Edgar is a motherfucking soldier. He always usually plays Leatherface at our shows. So he's kind of technically the unofficial member of Creature Click, you know what I'm saying? So he's in there. He's been consistent. So that's under purely speculation. And also he is with a guest. Who do we got?
Hi, my name is Natalie. I'm Edgar's girl, and yeah.
That's it right there.
That's it.
She's joining us because the reason why I brought her here was because I'm thinking ahead. Our next episode, I'm already thinking ahead, bro. Like 10 steps, like the Joker, you know what I'm saying? My next episode will be about the local DFW music scene. And she's a juggalo, and she says she's from here, but she's not. So she's not real up to speed about the history of how the juggalo music has grown in this town, in this part of the area of the country, or whatever. So tomorrow we'll be talking about that on the next episode. But tonight we're going to jump around to a couple of different topics that we wanted to talk about. The first one, I guess, will be current, trends or news that's going on. And that will be, of course, the Area 51 raid meme that's going on. I've seen a bunch of them. I don't even know how this shit started. I could be wrong. I think some guy made a Reddit post or event or something saying we should all, what do you say, get to see them aliens?
Yeah, you see them aliens, ass cheeks clap.
Yeah, and apparently, there's something about having sex with aliens. And so it just took off. So you've been seeing thousands of them online.
There's like 1.4 million so far that are interested in going, and like 600-something thousand that are confirmed going.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a tidbit of information. I'll be throwing in little, you ever seen that show where it goes, little information pops up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, some trivia. I've actually been to Area 51, sort of. It was 2015 or 16, me and my friend Rob. That's another thing we do at the Rob and Evil show. We'll be bringing those back hopefully soon. But anyway, on that show, we had traveled. We went to Roswell, we went to fucking the Hoover Dam, we went to fucking Vegas, we went to Area 51. Epic ass trip, Tombstone, Arizona. It was fucking awesome. But we went to Area 51, the South Gate.
Same here. I've been.
And Edgar said he's been there too. Edgar's from California. He's from Compton. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Area 51, that's an old thing. Just the desert, the Mojave, the Mojave. I call it the Mojave. It's Mojave, but the motherfucking Mojave Desert is a scary place.
Yeah,
You ever heard Robert De Niro? It's a scary place. You know, it is.
Well, Baker's not that far over there, and they actually have, what is it called, a UFO hotel thing?
Yeah, well, there's the alien that we stayed in. Okay, here's another tidbit. In the movie The Paul with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, or I think that's his name.
Paul.
Where they go, they get the alien, and the whole cross country buddy, whatever it is. The hotel, the little alien hotel they stay in the movie, that's a real hotel out by Area 51. Now in the movie, they redid the interiors because we were there, but all the outside shit, they were actually there. So it's a really cool place. The movie don't really show you, but when you're there and you see the vast openness, like it's like when we went to the Grand Canyon, it fucks with your brain. Like your brain can't calculate the distance that you're trying to process in front of you. So out in the desert, like at night, it's pitch black. Like around you, it's like being in outer space. And you don't understand the depth of what's all around you. And anyway, down from that diner, it's like a little diner in a hotel. Down from that, you go down the road, the main road, and off to your right, there's just a little nondescript dirt road. You make a right on it, and you go down for about, I think, a couple of miles, and all of a sudden it turns to concrete. The road does. And you keep going, and up ahead you're going to see a little guard shack. and there's a little barbed wire fence on each side. It only goes out so far because there's really no point because it's just open fucking desert. And when we pulled up, Rob swears that the guard inside ducked down, and we heard something about that, about they're not allowed to be filmed or they'll get in trouble. Again, that could be not true, whatever. But just being there at high noon, like it was a creepy fucking experience. Like I felt uneasy. It's just something about it. I was like, man, I don't feel right in this bitch. Like I guess my mind ran away with me.
Well, to be honest, just traveling down the Mojave during sunset, you tend to see things running around on the...
I think we hit a fucking rabbit. We were on extraterrestrial highway, and we were driving. Again, you close your eyes. That's how dark it is around you. And we're driving through this desert. And we drove for hours down this one fucking road, dude. There was no gas. This is pure desolation. Like apocalypse movies. If you ain't got gas, you are fucked. Like we could probably technically die in that bitch. Like if we now that I think about it, because there's just so much distance, you could not walk it.
It was that space between California to Nevada, right?
It's just the main road. I can't remember the name of it. The main route, it goes up to where the alien was. Just that long stretch from Vegas, because you bypass Vegas. You come up on the, I guess the right side of Vegas, and just you bypass that, and you go up for hours, and you make a fucking left. It just goes on and on. It's one long road. And at night, you can't see shit. But by the next day, like, because I'm ghetto as fuck, son. Like, we're broke as shit. I've never gotten to travel, and that was a big deal to me, getting to see all this shit. So I'd never seen mountains and all this crazy shit before. So it was just a lot to soak in. But Area 51, even just at the gate, you know, that, I mean, it'll trip you out.
It's a whole different, this type of feeling.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I made a post saying, well, I'm not going to go do the, what do they call it, the raid, or they're calling it, but I'll go watch it unfold, because think about the dilemma, like, if you literally have these 600,000 assholes that are they can pull some jackass shit, hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville, welcome to Jackass, we're storming Area 51, you know. What are the guards going to do? Because it puts the government in a dilemma in the face of the media. They're like, okay, are we literally going to open fire on our own people and, like, gun them down? Like, it's a fucked up thing. What if there's kids in there? People's going to do that as a guilt tactic. We're going to bring their kids and shit. Like,
I had seen a Facebook post, and it was, when are you going to get shot at Area 51? And one side was your birth month, and then the other side was your last name. And on the one side it said and then on the other side it said fucking face.
I don't think it would end well, dude, because I heard that you pass a certain point in the road, the trucks will come out and they'll get you in. So we were like, nah, I ain't going to go past that line. Rob was like, fuck this, I'm going in. But I was like, nah, I'm going closer.
And to be honest, I think that they will, because that is government property. And if you get too close to government property, they are authorized to shoot.
I think they've made a statement saying that. I think they're trying to duck that shit. They're like, we don't want to give this any more heat than it already has. Like, because I haven't seen any news posts about them officially addressing it, saying, we're going to kill y'all motherfuckers if you go on. Because that's a fucked up thing. Think about it. We're the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, technically, they work for us. It's the whole classic thing. If they work for us, and I don't want to get political. I'm just making the statement of saying, we look at it from, hey, motherfucker, we have a right to, you know what I'm saying? And now that if you really think about it, I have a right to know this shit, but they're like, keeping all the secrets. So there's a lot of shit back and forth. Like, do you have the right to murder us for doing this? Like,
I don't think that they're fucked up to shoot anybody.
I think what they're going with this is like when somebody breaks into your house, you got the right to shoot that motherfucker in the face.
But that's insane though. It's like the government's like, we're gonna murder you for crossing this line, because that just makes them look guilty as fuck. I don't know.
Bro, that's their house, so they could do whatever the fuck they want.
I believe there was aliens. You know what I'm saying?
I believe there's aliens. I believe that all human race was from an alien.
What was that movie? Or I seen it somewhere where some guy was like, or somebody was like, you ever just stop and take a look at people? Like, if you're out in public, just do people watching. He goes, sometimes you see some ugly motherfuckers. He's like, something about them's just off. Like, they look a little exaggerated. So he goes, they're probably fucking aliens. Because he's like, people just don't, because technology, look at this, we're obsessed with technology. I have my phone in my hand right now. I have it for bullet points for our show, but I sit and I laugh at myself, my friends, all of us, 5, 6 of us deep, all quiet, looking down at our phones. It's like the Twilight Zone. We've entered this thing of dependency of technology. We're all guilty of it. Yeah. I can't take my phone. I can't leave it. I have to go take it when I take a shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to have my phone, you know, and my
shit. You gotta read something when you take a shit, though,
yeah,
man.
But it's just a creepy fucking feeling, you know, about where we've come today in 2019 or whatever, and all the crazy fucking news we've seen. You know, it trips you the fuck out, bro.
Also, you gotta remember, like, Japan, they're not allowed to have a military, so the money that...
We gotta cut that out. No politics. Yeah, bitch.
My bad.
I
My
go,
bad.
is that politics? I guess it is. We're not doing that. See, it's a hard thing to dodge. It's a hard thing. I don't want that in my show. I'm being biased.
My bad, bro. It is Area 51 we're talking about. It's kind of...
Not the aliens. Well, we're talking about funny looking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
that technology that I was gonna say from Japan, I'm pretty sure is alien technology.
That's one thing we could talk about later on. I've talked to my friends about the whole classic story about the aliens crashing and all this shit. When me and Rob went to Roswell, from what I know, it's kind of funny. Roswell is chilling right where it's at. Well, the actual incident happened 40 something miles away.
I think it was 46 miles
at this dude's ranch. So that's kind of like
It was
me.
the outskirts.
That's like me geeking up and making a whole gimmick down here in Fort Worth over something that happened in fucking Decatur and saying, "Oh, making it my fucking trademark." You know what I'm saying? So, but if you go to Roswell, there's a museum there. Just be open-minded, because I'm a self-proclaimed neutralist, I guess you call it, where I try my best to not pick sides in things, because to me I just see that as closed-mindedness, I guess. And that's just my opinion. Like, I try to just step back and try my best to be as open-minded as possible about everything. So just go read those articles, and they're pretty interesting. Don't be so quick to say, well, this is how I feel. Anything else outside of what I agree or say is wrong. So just read those. It mentions Fort Worth. It mentions some cool shit in there. There's some shit makes you fucking be like the little kid in the meme. He's all skeptical and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're talking about the dude that on the farm, he was dirt poor. Basically, this guy was a scrub, and everybody knew this guy.
Yeah.
And after this incident, all of a sudden he's rolling around a brand new ass truck, and he got money and shit. It was real suspect, and he refused to talk about the shit. Before that, he was running around telling everybody shit. Again, I may be misquoting there, paraphrasing. Go to the fucking Roswell and read the articles, or look it up online. But anyway, bottom line is, some alien shit's finna go down, and we're gonna see who calls the bluff and actually goes to Area 51. So
I think, to be honest, I think aliens are already running around within us.
they're among us.
They're among us. But
Hey, so far though, they're fucked though, because we got Keanu Reeves, we got motherfucking Chuck Norris, we got Stone Cold. These motherfuckers are on the meme saying, "I'm going to Area 51." Stone Cold says, "Buy me some beer, bring me some beer." So it's
I'll
gonna
buy
go
that
down.
motherfucking beer
I'm down to
anyways.
drive. Was it down Route 40, 46, wherever highway they is, take me straight to motherfucking Nevada?
66.
Whatever it is.
66.
No, it's a separate one, I guess.
Separate
But I'm not a geographicologist. I don't know the fucking geographies of America. But anyway, I'm down to go to fucking Nevada, pull out my motherfucking popcorn,
Same
and
here,
watch
bro.
that shit like 4th of July. I need to read the article. I don't have the information about when it's supposed to happen, so
September 20th.
that's crazy. I wonder why they picked that particular day. That's the problem. Someone pointed out, like, dude, don't give away your fucking plan. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's like, really, dude? Really?
They're probably going to do it the day before.
Well, I saw one meme. They're laughing because they've already moved the aliens and all them to
Right.
Area 52 and shit. I seen another one, Tupac and Biggie, looking like, damn, they finally found us. Dude, I always joked for years. I said, you know what? Right now, as we live and breathe, questioning our existence, there's probably an alien playing checkers with a zombie in Area 51, and there's scientists with a clipboard watching them. Prove me wrong.
Bro,
As crazy as it sounds, prove me wrong.
Like
That's the whole point of my belief about being a neutralist or whatever, being neutral, is that as outlandish as someone's opinion may be of something, and you may laugh at them 100%, they're fucking stupid. Prove them wrong a lot of times. It depends on the situation. But sometimes you can concrete prove them wrong.
Yeah.
But in general, I'm saying, as far as an idea that no one has definitive answer to, it's kind of stupid to sit there and bitch. I'm like, dude, prove them wrong, dude. Like,
Bro, like you've been telling me these last couple days, you can't really assume somebody's gender now because they get fucking butthurt about it.
I don't want to get in. I guess is that politics, but here's a
No, not
here's a
really.
pinch
That-
on this. Here's a question I'm going to ask. As a neutral party here, I'm not talking shit. I have no opinion on someone that decides to be a woman, a man, or whatever they want to identify as. I try not to get involved in all that shit. But the question I ask, I seen an article, and again, y'all answer this in your own brain. I don't know. Just there was a little girl, and it's kind of one of those Jerry Springer type stories, or something that you'd see on Maury or Dr. Phil. There's a little black girl. I don't know how old she is, and they said that she acts white, and she just has this whole persona about her, and that she straight up says that she's not black. That
That she's not white, that she's black.
No, this girl's a black girl, and she
okay,
says
you're talking
that
about the other chick.
she's a young black girl, and she says that she don't identify as black, she hates blacks or something like that, and that she identifies as white. She considers herself white. And people, okay, now, upon hearing that, what would you immediately say? Most people would probably roll their eyes like this. Even black people were like, "Are you insane? Like, you're like denying who you are." I go, no. In fairness, I go, why is it any crazier for her to ask you to see her as a white girl than to have this dude over here say, see me as a woman? The logic, I go, you got to be fucking fair. Why is she crazy? And we get burned at the stake if you say opinion that goes, you get what I'm going for. I'm not going to go into that area, but you see what I'm saying. Why you got to have both? What does that say?
How I see it though, bro, is that I really don't identify as any race, really. The race that we are is humankind.
Mm-hmm.
So this color shit is for the birds, bro. So fuck it.
But yeah, and it's like people are not allowed. See, we're getting off topic. Oh my god, but that's okay though. That's okay. What I'm saying is, let's wrap this up. This little section, we're gonna move on about the aliens. Is that we'll make a whole topic next time. On the next one, we'll talk about we'll go more in depth on that. I'm trying not to, again, it's real hard. It's like the Sarlacc pit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to not fall in that bitch as far as politics. Because this is my personal deal. I shut the fuck up. I'm like, I'm not gonna, like Elvis said, I'm just an entertainer. They try to, if you're someone, you have an opinion that for some reason people give a shit about, I'm not saying that people give a shit about my opinion. I'm just saying they want to know your fucking opinion on something just so they can hang you. And Elvis just said, hey, man, I'm just an entertainer. I choose to keep my opinions to myself, you know. And they try hard. People just, they try to get you. They want to label you. They want to put you in a bucket and write you off. And I'm telling y'all, I choose to be neutral because I'm like, nah, I'm not that close-minded. I may be wrong, but even with aliens, again, it's all the same shit. I mean, to sit here and argue in a cafe about aliens is no different than arguing about your beliefs in religion.
True.
You know, all I should suggest is that people could try to not be so close-minded about everything. As absurd is the Earth flat? Some stuff, as soon as they utter it out of your fucking face, they're already laughing, rolling their eyes, sighing, pushing their glasses up. I mean, stop.
Judging you.
Because you don't fucking know. Like, I mean, bottom line, I want to get into that flat Earth shit just from a neutral perspective, because I've seen some shit, and I can see reasons for both, and I know a lot of people. There's so much we could talk about all that, but we're gonna move on. All right, next section topic we're gonna be fucking getting into is some horror movies. The first one that we're gonna talk about is the new Child's Play movie. Now, I wanted to talk about this because I tell my friends about this thing going online about, this is what I call it. I call it bandwagon hating, where how people will immediately rip something to shreds as a group. Like, say for example, I'm in an Evul Ded group, the movie, Bruce Campbell and all that. I'm in a group with that. And now these people in that group, they're cool as fuck. Like, I've been in them groups for a couple of years now, and they're all cool people. Like, I noticed the mood in there is usually generally good. Everyone's cool, no one's shitty. But even they do it on a mellow level. Like, say you mention the Evil Dead reboot, people immediately start hating. I was like, y'all are just, a lot of them, if you step back and look at it, they're just bandwagon hating. Oh, he looks over, that guy's hating? Well, I want to be part of the group. That sucks too. You know, but so that's why I picked the new Child's Play movie, because I'm old as fuck. 31 years ago, or give or take, fucking 31. Oh my God. 30-something years ago. In 1988.
Was it 88?
In 1988, I was living in Saginaw, Texas. I was 8 years old, and I went to go see Child's Play. But at that particular time, I'd been watching horror movies for a couple of years. My mom was cool as shit. I mean, she knew I wasn't choking cats and shit like that. She knew I wasn't that, parents know, you know what I'm saying? My mom was good about that. So she let me watch movies because she knew I had a level head, you know what I'm saying, as far as I know. So I went and watched Child's Play. And I still remember that day, clear as day. So when this new one come around, before it come out, it was all cryptic, and they're showing little pictures here and there, and people were immediately, that's the funniest shit that I laughed about. It shows one little still image and just bombard online with all the hate. I'm like, dude, are you a fucking time traveler? Have you even seen the fucking movie? Like, oh, it's gonna suck. It's gonna go. How do you fucking know? Look at The Dark Knight, son. Whenever it was, when fucking the Joker, Heath Ledger played that shit, motherfuckers burned that motherfucker to the bone. And then they all shut the fuck up. I was always down with him. Shut the fuck up. I will always go to that because that's what I'm saying. Like, give the motherfucker a chance. I haven't seen the new Pet Cemetery, but same shit. I went and watched Chucky. I watched it the other day. I made a post about it. Went and watched Chucky. And again, I'm a hardcore fucking horror fan. And they've gotten to the state where I don't even see it as... there's no point to compare it to the original Child's Play. It was really so different. I was like, it's its own thing. I'm not gonna sit there and just bandwagon hate.
See what people, why they started hating on that movie? It's because the way they made Charles look like.
That's a good point. Now, Rob, he didn't like the movie. He's like, fuck that movie. But for the same reason, those are just reasons. We're like, man, we missed the supernatural shit about Charles Lee Ray and the serial killer shit about being possessed and Kumbaya, whatever he's doing, and possessing the doll. That whole aspect, it was taken out for this new reboot. But again, I can see it. They're trying to appeal to the current generation, and they're pushing the whole technology gone evil thing. And so that's why I'd let it be its own thing. I was like, I just thought the movie was I didn't really care. But people, they bandwagon hate. It just goes on and on. That's a whole other topic about people just bandwagon hating. So I don't know if y'all have seen the new Child's Play movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Have you seen it? You said you didn't see it. Y'all seen the originals.
Yeah.
So it is vastly different. And I don't want to spoil it for y'all, but that's...
Well, I don't care about spoilers, bro. You can spoil any motherfucking movie you want.
I care about spoilers, though.
Me, bro, usually when movies come out, I tell people, fuck it. If you want to spoil the movie for me, spoil it. I don't give a fuck. I ain't going to get mad about it. I'll probably laugh about it.
All right. The next movie, real quick, we're going to talk about is 3 from Hell. Today, actually, today's the 15th? Well, it's the 16th now. Or no, 15th. The 15th, they dropped... Oh, it's not midnight yet. They dropped the new trailer today. I've always been a huge Rob Zombie fan. I love the trilogy so far. The new one, we were always debating because at the end of the second one, of course, no spoilers meant whatever, but I'm sure you've seen it. They get killed at the end of the movie, of the second one. So we're like, how are they coming back? And I've already pretty much got my answer, but I always say, me and Edgar was talking about, I was like, how they bring them back, for this movie, which I'm glad they came back because I'm assuming it's going to be in the 80s, or maybe it's still in the 70s because Rob Zombie kept them in the 70s.
Yeah.
But I was always laughing, saying, I call it, that maybe Captain Spaulding's going to wake up at the end of it, or at the beginning, and it was just, the end half of part 2 was just a dream. They didn't get murdered. But I guess what it's saying, and not they saying they got shot and they survived, right?
I think what Rob Zombie's doing in these movies is he's busting a Tarantino.
What do you mean?
Those endings where they end up getting killed. Mm. I have a feeling that this trilogy, they're jumping throughout each movie.
Yeah, it's an expanded, it's a universe. It's technically a universe in itself, but as far as
the timeline is like a broken timeline within the movies.
It could jump around. Well, Tarantino, what you mean is he has the Tarantino verse. I guess that's what it's called. And now his movies, he said he was going to make a certain number of movies, then quit. I don't know what number he's on now. And each one, it's like comic books. It's literally like comic books where this movie's set in the 1800s, this movie's set 100 years later. So he's trying to keep within continuity where they're in the same universe. Now these 3, they're in the same universe. Here's a funny thing about that though, about genres. You got the first movie, here's something interesting. The first movie, House of a Thousand Corpses, that came out in early 2000s, I think it was. It was a straight up slasher, I guess not slasher, but it was a horror film. Straight up horror film. Yeah. Puts a guy, turns him into a fish and all this shit. Horror film. Now think about this. It was all night, dark, classic horror movie, nighttime. Now the second movie,
it's during the daytime.
No, it's not just that. I think it's symbolic. What I mean by that is, by the second movie, it changed genres within the same universe. It's a still sequel. It jumped from, I think they call it a revenge western. It goes from a horror movie. It's like a crossover in a sense. Think about this. Very few movies have ever done that, where you have a movie series where there's sequels, and within the sequels, each movie literally changes movie genre, but it's still the same characters. Yeah. That's like a nerd crossover type thing. Imagine this. Imagine Jason from Friday the 13th. He's had 20 fucking movies, all slasher films, but imagine all of a sudden in one of his sequels having it go left field and take him and put him in a comedy setting or take him in a dramatic setting. It fuck with your brain, but it's neat. And that's what Rob Zombie did.
And it gives it a new flavor to it.
Yeah, and the part 2 was my favorite so far.
I like both of them, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but part 2 is always my favorite so far, and I'm curious to see if this new one, what feel it's gonna give you. Is it gonna be? This is not gonna be a horror movie. I don't think it's just a gritty. I think it's gonna be more like part 2. I feel like it's a good direction he went with it. With the feel of it. Because think about it, they were the straight up bad guys. Like he literally just turned this whole thing and flipped it on his fucking head. Like where you're literally rooting for the bad guy. They murdered the fucking hero. They murdered the fucking cop guy. Like, if you think about it,
Well, that punk ass cop kind of.
no one gave a fuck about the quote unquote heroes and the supposed good guys.
But
He blurred the lines.
the thing is that that family are the heroes in this fucking movie, though.
Yeah, they're the ones to root for. And so that's why, again, this whole movie was made just because the people demanded it.
Yeah.
You know, people like, man, you can't just end this on 2, bro. Like, you can't just, it ain't good, you know?
And it's been, what, almost 10 years?
It's been a minute. 2005, I think it was, 6. And another thing, if you watch 31...
I haven't watched it, but I've been wanting to watch it, though.
31 was one of the movies I think he did before this. The main killer on there,
Yeah.
the crazy-looking dude that smiles with his face paint, he's in 3 from Hell.
Oh, shit.
Now, I'm not saying he's the same character, but I'm curious to see who he plays.
Okay.
He's like a new addition to their little family. Like Rob
Right.
Zombie has his little core group. It seems like he has his core group of actors he always uses. You got the main 3, but you always got the little actors like Danny Trejo. He was, what do they call him? The Demented 2 or Hellish 2 in part 2. It was him and Diamond Dallas Page. For whatever reason, I don't think Diamond Dallas Page come back, but Danny Trejo's back. So I'm assuming he's the same character. So I want to know what happened to his partner.
And you know what's funny, bro? Not only is Danny Trejo in that movie, but he's in multiple movies, Rob Zombie movies also.
It's kind of a Bruce Campbell thing. He's always in Sam Raimi movies. So yeah, Danny Trejo was in the Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we can blend right into that because we're talking about the whole argument about reboots, about people bitch about the originals versus the reboots. Now, there's pros and cons if you decide to do one. Like today's current movie, Hollywood, I think they're so burnt out of ideas. They're scrambling for any fucking thing to make a movie. Now, I can't see what they're doing. They're trying to do them for a newer generation. You see the dilemma they're in. You know, they really want to remake these movies, but they just never don't catch the same. Like very rarely. Like, have you seen any reboots that you were happy with?
A lot of people.
That one was a good. That's an exception. That was a good one.
But if you have actually sat down and read the book, actually took time to read the book, the remake sticks a lot closer to the book than the actual one did.
And the TV series one.
Yeah.
Because see, I love the original.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, Tim Curry, he played Pennywise perfectly. He was, you know, Pennywise. So those are hard shoes to fill when the Skarsgård guy when he came in and made the new It. Now the director, whoever they was, the stars lined up, and it ended up being good. There are exceptions to reboots. Sometimes it is a good thing.
I have one of those pop things. Bill Skarsgård,
Mm-hmm.
whenever he got in full It costume, and the kids were so afraid of him, he went and he took off his makeup and his costume and he took him out to dinner.
See, I like reading a lot of trivia, so I try to read a lot of trivia and stuff like that. That's interesting. Another one was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The original series came out in '73, I think it was. Okay, you had those. Now, after part 1 and 2, even 2 is kind of wild. They got pretty fucking wild, man.
They
Like,
did.
ooh, man, them was wild.
They did.
Now, when they rebooted them in early 2000s, I thought they were dope as fuck. Like, they fixed Leatherface's look was really good. They did the one, and then they did the second one was the prequel. Showed Sheriff Hoyt and all them, and it shows how he becomes sheriff and all that. I thought for those two, they were fucking great. But the thing that pissed me off was they cut his fucking arm off. Like, at the end of one of them, Leatherface loses his fucking arm. I was like, no, bro, don't do that. Like,
you gotta remember, they're reboots, so they can change it if they
I let
want
him in
to.
like that, and I was like, nah, bro.
It's kind of fucked up, though.
But, so reboots can be good, they can be bad. So like she said, there's an example. It, I think, is, to me, the Texas Chainsaw Massacres were, the new Star Treks, when they made those new ones,
Yes, actually,
I thought those were dope. They captured the field and everything.
And I kind of actually liked the Solo movie. That was actually a pretty good movie.
People bandwagon hated on that. Fuck Solo, we're worried about this. And just,
Oh,
people
fuck
are never
that.
fucking pleased, man. People, when it comes to movies, because
There's
people
always
care
gonna be a
about, people care about these characters. I'm right there with you, you know, because you grow up with these characters. In your fucking brain, you learn to care about these non-existent characters as if someone that's next to you. It sounds insane.
To be honest, when I found out that Carrie Fisher died, I actually cried because I saw her growing up as.
I was legit upset when Wes Craven died. Like, I made a post about it. Like,
Same here,
it
bro.
legit bothered me. Like, or when Chris Cornell died, it legit.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to fucking cry. Like, it was. I mean, people are like, man, you're just saying someone you don't even fucking. I was like, dude,
They're part of your life, though.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form.
yeah. You know, again, you know, it's a crazy fucking thing. Okay, Basically, reboots, we could go on for hours talking about that, but we're going to try to move on to this next section. Everybody on this motherfucking planet is a nerd. And what I mean by that is you got the coolest, slickest, suave motherfucker. This motherfucker lives to have every hair on his fucking head perfectly calculated, so the bitches, they fucking melt. You know what I'm saying? When he walks in the room, he smells perfect. These people, they will obsess over this thing. They're a nerd about that. Anything you are completely obsessively attached to or interested in, you're a fucking nerd about it. Fat redneck guy playing football. Look at them nerds over there playing Star Trek. Bitch, you're sitting there watching football. Your fucking room's covered in fucking, you're a fucking nerd.
You're jerking off to Tom Brady.
Exactly, like, think about that. Everybody's a nerd. But there's different types, though. True nerds, like Comic-Con nerds, nerds. Think about this. This is just my own observation. They're some of the happiest people I've ever fucking met. Yeah. Like, if you go to conventions, I sit back and I was like, man, I'm a fucking nerd. When we joke, we call them neckbeards and stuff like that. You got them weird little fat guys sitting there, you know, and he's sitting on the floor. Like, why do you come to a fucking... Here's the thing that irks me. I'm a hardcore convention nerd. Me and Rob go to most of them. I'm not trying to talk shit about nobody, make fun of nobody. I'm just having fun with it. What I'm saying is, you go to these fucking conventions. You see hot chicks dressed up and dudes, robots, and wizards and shit. But then you got these fucking people. You paid $100 and all these money to go sit against the fucking wall for the whole fucking convention and play on your phone. Get the fuck up and walk around. It pisses me off. Like,
make friends, bitch. Fuck a bitch.
I know you're tired, but y'all ever notice that if you've been to conventions? It's just one little thing that irks me. I'm like, dude, what the fuck,
for real,
man?
bro. Like, go talk to somebody.
And I'm saying, I'm sure they got their own individual reasons why they're sitting, but generally, I've walked for hours and see the motherfucker never move.
But I'm just saying, bro.
Just a little bitch. I'm just a little bitch rant. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I'm just saying though, bro. I've seen it too, bro, in videos and shit. Like, there's women out there that are into the same shit that you are, bro. Go spit your game over there, bro. Get some pussy. You know?
Edgar going on some left field shit. But no, back to what we're saying though is about a passion about something. You're a nerd. Like I'm a fucking music nerd. I'm a movie nerd. I'm a fucking game nerd. You know. And I'm like, whatever, like Eminem, I say it proudly, you know? You know, like on the, what you call it? But that's what's funny, people in this world, not to get political, or I'm just saying, like, people spend so much time hating on each other. I was like, motherfucker, you're all nerds. Shut the fuck up. No one's any cooler than you, like anyone else. Like, think about it, dude. The coolest, like I said, the suavest guy, perfect eyebrows, he can be on point. One bitch could just roast him. He ain't shit. It's all subjective. It's all a matter of POV. Look at Edgar. Look at me. We're fat motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in general standards, look at us. All of them fat motherfuckers ain't shit, you know, because we don't look like that guy, like said guy. But it could go both ways. I maybe could pull a bitch. This, you know, could pull a girl, whatever. I don't be politically PC. That's not PC calling her bitch, you know. Again, try not to get political. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's all a matter of POV. Yeah, we got a guest coming in the motherfucking window. Who's crawling through the fucking door? Open the door. Oh, it's Chelsea. What she got? Oh, she got the marijuanas. Is Chelsea in the background? She's stealing one of my guests. So y'all go ahead. All right, give your outro. Say goodbye.
Y'all, thanks for having me. Evil, thanks for having me. Edgar, I'll see you later.
She's going to come back because we're going to do a Juggalo on the next show. She's going to do a Juggalo guest spot on the DFW Histories.
I'm going to go get
She's going to... This episode of the Midnight Hour Podcast is brought to you by marijuana. Smoke that shit and fucking die.
Dabs and acid.
Dabs and acid. Hashtag coming soon. All right, the next set we're jumping to, the next topic, subject, whatever, is we're going to jump to video games, I guess, kind of real quick. Edgar, okay, here's a little quick thing. As much as I love video games, I've been out of the game scene for a little bit. Like, I pretty much have missed a lot of the PS4 era. Like, I had one, I fucked off, sold the bitch, and I just got it back. So I've been buying all these games and shit, trying to catch up. And Edgar was telling me about a game called, what was it?
Cuphead, but this actually isn't in PS4 at all.
He was telling me it's an Xbox game.
It's an Xbox game and a PC game.
Yeah, he was telling me about it. We saw it at Walmart and whatnot.
It's an RPG.
But he wanted to just talk about it. You know, we're talking about some nerd shit, video games. So tell him about Cuphead and whatever you want to say.
Cuphead is actually one of those video games that's based on, like, the 30s...
20s and 30s, like Mickey Mouse whistling while he's riding a boat type shit.
Yeah, that type of cartoon. Yeah. But it's like a one-man shooter game.
Is it first person?
It's
like through the eyeballs, you see it.
No. You see
the character. That's third person.
It's sort of like
Grand Theft Auto.
No, Super Mario.
Oh, side view.
Yeah.
2D.
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2D, like so side scrolling.
It's side scrolling.
But you said it's an RPG.
No, it's kind of like an RPG, but because you're shooting.
Mhm.
And,
Oh shit! So is that gory?
No, it's not. It's not gory, but it's like it's kind of hard to explain. I'll show you the video after the.
I literally know nothing. I am completely green on this, like as far as Cuphead, but he's saying it's a fresh game. So he's
and the thing is that this game it was supposed to be a boss game where it's nothing but bosses.
That's crazy.
But people that are patient with games and shit have rage quit because of this fucking game.
Oh, from the difficulty?
Yeah, because like it starts off with the pattern, then it'll just out of left field hit you in a different pattern.
So you telling me they were arguing about trying to study the game and figure it out, how to learn the patterns to beat it.
Yeah, but you can't because the pattern will just change on you.
Oh, okay.
So it's
So
one of those games that will make motherfuckers mad, cry, cuss, breaking shit.
yeah, because you got hardcore nerds like okay, here's an example. On Xbox and PlayStation, Rob, he's a hardcore gamer like me, but he's the type where he goes out and he's on a mission. He will stay on these games and he will earn them fucking trophies and all this shit. Like me, I'm not so much. I'm like, man, I get lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some people like that. They wanna beat these motherfuckers and they will not quit. So I can see them like raging out and shit, getting all pissed off.
But in the game though, they do. I really didn't see the beginning much because they started playing it before I got into the room.
Yeah.
But they make a deal with the devil,
Hmm.
and they need to take down all these certain bosses.
It looks like some Mickey Mouse shit, talking about the devil and shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So
So it's a dark game.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Okay. That reminds me randomly of a game called Limbo.
Limbo.
It was a creepy little game, like, cause like, I'm old again. I'm old as fuck, so I was always into the Twilight Zone, the originals with Rod Serling and all that. And the Twilight Zones, they all have a unique feel to them, and they're just creepy and neat. And Limbo kind of reminded me of that. Look it up. It's a side-scroller game, but in 3D, it's a puzzle game. Plays a little guy. It's black and white, and he jumps through puzzles. And there's creepy-ass monsters, and it's a cool little game. A couple years old, but yeah, it's kind of that comes to mind when you mention that. So anyway, Edgar's basically just giving props to Cuphead, saying that y'all should check it out. I don't have an Xbox, so I can't really check it out, but I'll probably maybe watch some YouTube videos. I guess another game we'll talk about real quick is, of course, Mortal Kombat 11. With this new one, they're supposed to have...
Michael Myers, I think.
Well, it's up to debate. Like, Shang Tsung has just been released, I guess, a week or so ago. Yeah. On the 18th, I think it was, last month. Shang Tsung came out, and he looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it becomes like Sub-Zero, fucking...
Yeah, all the classic, the old Part 2 suits. I think it's mix of Part 1 and 2. Fucking badass. I haven't bought their skins yet, because you can buy the ninja suits separately, or Shang Tsung himself. I haven't gotten around to buying them. But what I'm really waiting on, honestly, is the news that supposedly Ash from Evil Dead and Terminator are going to be the last two guest characters that are revealed. Now, it's pretty much, I think it's pretty much safe to say that they're confirmed, because the most recent trailer they did, where they revealed Shang Tsung, where he did his fatalities, Kintaro and all that, at the very end of it, it's been talked about 100 times over on YouTube about, they throw a little hint on there, you hear a chainsaw and a blood splatter. I think that's symbolic of Ash, and then they have a bootleg Terminator theme play afterward. And now, from a nerd level, I'm geeked as fuck. I was like, because from the lore and the way that NetherRealm treats these crossovers, now, not really hate, it's just a nitpick. When Capcom does it, they're lazy as fuck, bro. Like, no story, no explanation.
Are you talking about
it just always was, basically. Like, even from back from the arcade games. I'm a fucking nerd. I want to know why these characters exist in the same world. We demand fucking answers.
Are you talking about the Street Fighter versus
Tekken, Capcom, Marvel? They're never. They always just, in the story mode, it's like, oh, it just was. It's almost like it's just a what-if tale. If it is, then let us know that. They said, basically, the Tekken Corp and all that shit, it always existed. I was like, nah, that's lazy. That's fucking lazy. Now, fucking NetherRealm, they're fresh as fuck. Like, they actually treat this like a comic book. They will sit there and complete the lore, say how this character crossed over. They try. They make the gesture to say, hey, and that's what's neat, because it gives depth to it, and it gives substance, and it makes it way more believable. So from what I know, they're literally going to respect the lore of Ash and explain how he gets there. They're going to respect the lore of Terminator and how he gets there. And it's neat. It just blows your fucking mind from a nerd level to see Terminator stand there in front of fucking Sonya or Johnny Cage. It's just a mind fuck. Because I've always said, Johnny Cage is the comedy relief, but he ain't shit compared to Ash.
True.
And I was like, I cannot wait to see them talk shit to each other, like the two egos. I hope they really utilize that.
Yeah.
So in Terminator, I've seen some leaked supposed dialogue between them, and it's pretty fucking hilarious if it's legit. Like Ash, it really hasn't been leaked, but they did Spawn. What's his name? Keith David, the guy that actually played Spawn. Supposedly he's coming back to do the voice.
No, are you talking about wait?
In Mortal Kombat 11, Spawn has already been confirmed.
Okay.
So Spawn's coming. But again, they didn't just stop there. They took the extra fucking step and actually got Keith David to come back and do the voice. So I'm not ultra into Spawn. I don't know all the Spawn lore.
Are you talking
Keith David was the voice actor, I think, for the movies and the games, maybe?
Just because I remember Michael J. White played Spawn.
Well, he was in the movie.
Yeah.
But as far as the TV, there was a cartoon, I think there was.
Yeah,
and Michael,
there was.
And Keith David played the voice. He played also the Gargoyle from Gargoyles and all that, Goliath and all that.
Yeah.
So he's got that unique voice. So I'm glad they did that, and they got Bruce Campbell to actually come to the studio and do the voices. Now, there's some kind of hiccup going on with that. They haven't really been clear. They've been real secretive about the issue with Ash. And so people are going to flip their shit because Bruce Campbell made a deal saying that Ash isn't fully playable. He's just a cameo. People's going to burn that motherfucker down if you tease them that bad.
Right.
That's like sticking the nicest, freshest titties in some motherfucker's face and be like, nah, bitch, pull him away. Like that's the meanest fucking... Yeah, that's horrible.
That's like the biggest punch in the face.
I'm sorry. I hate to say this, dude. Ash is one of the most iconic characters. And bottom line is, he's going to go in there and technically he gonna make fucking suckers out of all these Mortal Kombat guys. I love Mortal Kombat. That's hard for me to say. But Ash is going to go in there. He's probably the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest candidate for a guest character.
Yeah.
It's just so iconic. Another left field one is supposedly, I could be wrong, they have a whole clown thing going on. One was the Joker, supposedly, because they have the rights to him, so that's logical. Pennywise was another one floating. But the third one randomly was Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal.
Oh.
Now, Sweet Tooth, the new reboot of him, talking about reboots, he's fresh as fuck. When they finally finalized him and gave him his final look, see, I'm from the old school. I'm from PlayStation 1, where he looked before, worlds apart how he looks now.
Yeah.
They finally established him, and he's a dope-ass character. He's always been my favorite. I've loved Twisted Metal, so I can completely see him being in this game. He's a murderous serial killer, so it's merge made in heaven, you know what I'm saying? Now, he may not be on Xbox if it happens because Sony owns him, so I think that's going to be, if he happened, that would be like a Kratos kind of thing, where we own him, you can use him, whatever. A cool thing that was cool about Kratos, again, I've never been a really big God of War fan. I used to talk shit just to troll Rob. I think they literally took him from God of War 3, his exact wireframe, his exact character, and put him in Mortal Kombat. If you notice, he does have a different physical look to him. I think he's a little bit skinnier. He's a little bit thinner. He looks a little different than them.
He looks a little bit more sick.
Just something about him is just different. But again, with the lore thing, Ed Boon treated him with respect. Like there's certain fatalities that Kratos wouldn't do that. Like running around acting stupid. If it breaks character, like Kratos wouldn't do that. So that was neat that they take the time to treat these characters and make them in this world.
And still act the same.
Yeah. These guest characters and how NetherRealm was fresh because they take the time to do that. That's like a living movie a little bit. It's neat. Like, they're not just a hidden character off screen, like, wow, they're in the game. Like, it's a gesture to say, hey, they exist in this world, and you get to see it through their story mode if you win. You know, the arcade mode and all that. It's just neat. Well, as a nerd, I'm waiting to see Ash and fucking Terminator, and I mean, I'd be happy to see Joker too. I'm not really a big fan of the DC comics and all that. I'm not hating, but just
I love DC comics.
I'm just geeked on Sweet Tooth. I'd rather see Sweet Tooth, honestly. But anyway,
I wouldn't mind seeing Pennywise though.
That'd be neat. I like the new Pennywise. If they do that, they need to have both versions.
Yeah.
They need it because here's a fresh tidbit on that. In MKXL, when you play as Leatherface, I'm a huge Leatherface fan. It's Texas, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, we literally have Leatherface on every one of our shows and our stages.
Right here.
Edgar's literally our Leatherface. A fresh thing is, if you're familiar with the movie series, in the game, you get the variation suits. You get 3 of them. Well, they give you the original suit, Leatherface's original look. They give you his suit where he dresses like a woman with the makeup and all that.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the costume with the tuxedo and all that. And they also give you the reboot Leatherface, and that was my favorite one. Personally, how he looks. We got the mask and all. That's what we model our Leatherface after. It was cool. They took those little tidbits of details.
I actually like the fatality on not the fatality. There's a move that the one where he's wearing the makeup. He does is where he just starts dancing around and starts slashing.
Oh, that's it. I think if you don't do a fatality, if you just knock him out and you win, he does the nod to the original movie where he's slinging the chainsaw around. Again, those are little tidbits. Like, that's neat as fuck. Like, imagine if Darth Vader was in the game. They go, take this character and go, how can we bring him realistically and logically into this universe without denying him any of his backstory? Hey, it wasn't that's just Midnight Hour podcast. That you notice on YouTube, they're all friendly. Hey, what's up, guys? You got to start your video with, hey, what's up, guys? You do that, ultra friendly ass white guy, you know, hey, what's up, guys? You get fucking 100,000 views.
Nah, fuck that, bro. We gonna call you motherfuckers assholes.
We keep this shit in the gutter, son. You know, we gonna fuck. I guess I'm gonna get out here right now. As far as this little bootleg show, I guess if you call it, I got this set up pretty easy now. I'll try to release these regularly. They'll generally be, I haven't locked down the days that I'll release them, but they'll generally be around midnight. The Midnight Hour podcast. So I'm gonna wrap this up. My name is Evul Ded. I'm with Creature Click, Cemetary Records, Funny Farm Records, all that shit, bro. This is motherfucking Edgar. Sorry. Shady Gang. Boop, boop. Bloop, bloop. All that stuff. We'll be coming back. The next episode, we will be talking about local Fort Worth music scene as far as horrorcore and the shit that we did coming up. I'll talk more about the history of Secrets of 13 for all the old school heads that knew. Because see, I was laughing earlier. I was telling Edgar, the scene, the quote-unquote scene here in DFW, just as a whole, it's like the Bible. You got the Old Testament and you got the New Testament. I'm from the Old Testament. I've been here since the Old Testament. Let me rephrase that. And so you got the old heads in the scene, and then you got the younger generations that don't know shit about the happenings and goings on.
But you actually walking through both.
So I'm gonna walk y'all through the histories from what I remember of when I started doing music. We'll talk about horrorcore. We're gonna get into the good shit.
Are you gonna mention anything about ATX?
Yeah, I mentioned everything. The history, ATX, as far as I can recall, from the beginning of me picking up a fucking CD, saying, you know what, I'm gonna be like that guy. Yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here, edit this bitch, and I'll definitely be coming back on this boy. Real quick, I got some new shit coming out. A new album I'm working on as far as Creature Click is Razorblade Saviors. The album is done. Yeah. We're missing, I think, a verse, because Drew, he's been fucking asking us for a fucking year now, for pretty much a minute now. Like, we've been trying. Again, we'll get into that on the next episode, but the album's, it's here. We just got to get it mixed and get it done. I have my solo album. It's my first solo album in a minute. Yeah. It's going to be pretty fucking dope. Like, I'm trying to make some videos for it. I'm proud of that boy. Like, I got some good cuts on that bitch. So we'll get into that. I'm going to save it for y'all, but
trust me, what I've heard is it's pretty dope.
We'll save all that good shit for the music episode.
Yeah.
So on the next episode, we're going to focus on music. We'll talk about everything. Kurt Cobain. We'll talk about.
Shout out to Nasty Nutty, you little punk ass bitch.
Apparently, they're going to get in the fucking wrestling ring. Okay, Nutty, as far as from my POV, all love, brother. Again, I'm a neutralist. That is my proclaimed title, so don't take nothing personal. But Edgar says he got beef. He said, I'm going to put you on a wrestling match. It'll be fresh.
Nigga, we could do diss tracks too. I don't give a fuck.
Edgar wants me to teach him how to rap. But anyway, it's all good, man. We're just having fun here. Again, we're going to say some shit sometimes. It might piss people off. But again, it ain't about being negative, man. I get, if you know me, I'm not an asshole. Like, I talk shit, but don't be so fucking sensitive, man. Like, if I call you a bitch, just fucking don't.
Be a bitch, nigga.
Don't fucking cry about it, bitch.
Don't be a bitch. Don't be a fucking bitch.
Don't be a fucking tampon. Man the fuck up. Well, I can't say that. Human the fuck up.
Because
literally, nothing's allowed. Anyway, we're rambling in this bitch. I'm out this bitch. I'm gonna have some outro music. There it is, and fucking dildo right out your butthole. Andy, trash bag. Doo-doo in the fucking doo-doo in the butthole. Doo-doo in the butthole?
Doo-doo in the butthole.
That sounds like a radio show. Doo-doo in the butthole. Live. 22.5. Yeah. All right, y'all.
This has been the Midnight Hour podcast, brought to you by Cemetary Recordz. Please join us next time. Goodbye.